Awesome. Hello, everyone. How are you? And welcome. Hi, Utter Nutter and Mama Jane D. Thank you so much for being here. A couple of the wonderful moderators for Watts.Ping Obsession. And Crystal Berry, hi, how are you? And hello, Coco. And I thought it said Roma's calling, but I see there's another S in there, and I don't want to mispronounce you, but I'm glad you're here. I always love it when you're here. And let's see who else is here. Hi, Hazel. How you doing? And Margarita, I'm really glad. I hope that you made it back. James Ferguson, I also hope you made it back. This was scheduled for a little earlier, and then I had to move it up. Every time I pick my son up from baseball practice, I'm sure that you guys won't be shocked by this, but he needs to go to the sporting store to buy something new. It never fails. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, but as long as he enjoys it, that is what matters, right? So, yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna want to play a short little video. It's only 3 minutes because, we talk about so many things having to do with this tragedy. And there are a lot of things, obviously, in my opinion, to talk about when it comes to this tragedy. And I believe that not only should we be talking about these things, but I believe that law enforcement, if they are not, should be investigating these matters again or a little more deeply. But guys, it's so important for us to remember who this is all about. Okay, so this is just a video of the little girls. Only 3 minutes, and then we'll start talking about other things. Okay. I haven't done this in a while in a live stream, and I just don't ever want to lose sight. Rest in peace, sweet angels.
You want to see Daddy thriving? You guys might get dizzy here. Watch CC's blank, Phil's. Cece's enjoying it. Yee. She's I think Daddy's dizzy.
Daddy's very dizzy.
Hold on, let Daddy catch his balance. Hold on. Cece. Oh, kid. Oh my goodness, kid. You need a break? Daddy did the running and you need the break? Watch the... You gotta duck though, because your daddy's tall and you're tall. Just watch the fan. Watch out, Dieter. Watch out, Cece. Cece, watch. Cece, wait, honey. Cece, wait. It's Bella's turn. Cece don't like sharing. Thanks, Shannon. We gotta catch up. Come here, baby. All right, go by Daddy. Go by Daddy. I think Chrissy's gonna lose it. He's so dizzy. You can tell he's slowing down. Oh, this is hilarious. Again? Cece, I think you're dizzy, buddy. I couldn't agree more, Debbie. Pure happiness in their voices.
I love it when she says that.
Thanks, Mitch. Daddy's dizzy. Come here, Cece. Cece. This one never stops. Come here, Cece. Look. Cece. Come here. Come look. Look it. Say hi. Hi. Say hi. Hi. Hi, Didi. It's your birthday. All right, say goodbye, everybody. Bella, say goodbye. Say bye. Say bye-bye. Bye. Bye. She doesn't stop. Bye, guys. I'll see you guys later.
Okay, so I just love that video of the little girls because, I mean, just listen to their laughter. I love it when Shanann says, pure happiness in their voices. And I agree. You can hear pure happiness in their voices. And, I just love that. And, I've put out some videos. Hi, Cecile. So happy you're here. Welcome, my darling. Another wonderful moderator. I put out some videos that, are videos of Shanann's Facebook Lives, and I do put commentary about the family dynamics, and my major concern is the MLM involvement, and not even her involvement, but their predatory and targeted nature of MLMs. It's very bad. It costs a lot of families that really need the money. Hi, Ara R. So nice to see you here. I love it when you're here. Millions of dollars every year when you put them all together. And I've said before, I myself had been involved in 3 of them, and I'm not jaded about them. I don't have anything against them, but I started to just really see the inner workings of the MLMs. I got to a really high level on one of them, and I was kind of privy to the behind the scenes stuff, and it's terrible. And I think that Shanann was very talented, and I think she would have been very successful in a legitimate business, just for the record. Hi, Jennifer. How are you? Oh, I'm so glad you're here. So glad you could catch us. Wonderful. That's awesome. Yay. Okay. So, few things I need to talk about tonight. So we're going to, I've been talking about the importance of the ping, as have a lot of people, because it was really brought back into light by actually someone questioning it and questioning the legitimacy. I did a 3-part series. I had done the 3rd part the other night, and I'm going to redo a little bit of that because honestly, I had some stuff going on. I'm going to tell you about a little bit of it in a minute. I wasn't really that into it the other night, and I just wanted to do a more complete job. So there's that. And then, I also want to address this. Let's see. So all of the material that I put out on my channel is my own material. I put, hours upon hours of work into this channel. And the reason I do that, and I'm not looking for any, praise or anything special here, but if I'm going to be delivering material to you guys, I want it to be of a certain quality. Hi, Tracy. Nice to see you. I try to hold a standard of quality throughout my life. And if, I'm not going to be able to produce a certain level of quality, yes, I can talk with, then, I'm not going to do it. Okay. So some of you may know that, I don't even know how long ago it was now. Remember, it was during the time I had COVID, which was in January, I believe. Yeah. There was a certain channel that was like really hating on me. And this channel had teamed up with a couple other channels. And then this channel that was really hating on me, I kind of went off of YouTube for a while because it was found out that, allegedly he was being he was at the very least, I'm not going to, embellish anything, but he was being, sexually inappropriate through chat and DMs with his subscribers and, people that would come to his channel, and it made some people feel uncomfortable, and it possibly went further, but that has not been proven in a court of law, and I don't have any firsthand knowledge of that. So I'm going to be respectful and not speak to it. And, I don't know exactly why he had so much hate for me, aside from the fact that, I didn't want to work very closely with him. And it wasn't necessarily personal. I didn't think about it enough for it to be personal. I have never wanted to affiliate myself in a committed way with another channel, because I work on the material and the content for this channel when I have time. I have a job. I actually, on top of that, I also teach yoga classes, and I also raise Holland Lop rabbits. And so, okay, this keeps me really busy, guys. And I'm a single mother. And I'm going to talk about this in a minute. I am an only child and a daughter of two parents who are both remarried and really only have me other than their spouses. And they both had some health difficulties recently. So, so I thought that after the person who creates this, who's the creator of this channel, screw it, I'll just say it, Seeking the Truth with Dave. I thought after, he had to basically get off YouTube because he was exposed for being, oh, Nancy, are you there? Nancy has a good way of describing it, but exposed for being, sexually inappropriate with his subscribers and whomever. I was, hi. So what do we call this, Nancy? You always say something. It starts with a D about, I don't know. It's good. I'm glad that you have your account, by the way. I thought that he would just maybe eat a piece of humble pie, to be honest. And at the very least, just, back off. Sometimes when we go through challenges in our lives, it causes us to reflect and, as a result, maybe interact with the world a little differently. And I think, when I observe this about myself, because I will never say I'm perfect. I don't think I'm perfect. And when I observe this in other people, I think it usually causes us to interact with the world in maybe a more gentle way, a more positive way. I know, Jennifer. She says, why has true crime become such a cesspool? I know, it's disgusting. I agree with you, my friend. But anyway, deviant. Yes, a sexual deviant. That's what we call. So recently, now listen, guys, I don't watch this channel. I do not watch Seeking the Truth with Dave. This man was absolutely vile to me. I mean, he bullied me so badly. And this was all founded on things that were completely proven to be untrue and were just untrue. It was total bullshit. It really struck me when my 13-year-old son asked me, like, Mom, he was really upset because he saw how upset it was making me and how much trouble it was causing in my life. My God, while I had COVID and he had COVID and my dad had COVID and I was trying to take care of myself and my family, and this was like crazy. And people got really mean and really nasty. And guys, I mean, I was really dragged through the mud, called terrible things, accused of doing dishonest things. And guys, none of it was true. So anyhow, I don't watch his channel. I unsubscribed. I do not get notifications. I try to not watch his channel intentionally. When his channel does come on my television or one of the televisions in my house, because my son or I is always on YouTube. Watts the Truth. I love it. Hi there. Welcome. When I saw that at first, I thought it said, what's the obsession? I'm like, how did I just comment? That's awesome. It's because, autoplay is on and for some reason one of his videos comes on. So I didn't even know that he was bringing me up again until a few of my moderators, subscribers, or just people out there looking out for me. Hi, DCT Prime. How are you? Yeah. Oh, she brings up a good point relating to why this person might have something against me. DTC Primetime says you called him out for him claiming that Shanann's darling mother had put a hit on her own daughter, which is vile. And he said that not only to me, but apparently some other people affiliated with other channels, and they produced screenshots of this, or as they say, receipts. So, it's true. Okay. That happened. And when I knew he was going to bring it out, and it was the day after Christmas morning, I happened to be in chat on his channel, and he started going down a road, and he was speaking about that poor family so terribly. I started just kind of gently pushing back because I was on his channel and I was being respectful. It put me in a really weird position, but he did not like that one bit. Well, he had told me months prior that, he was going to bring that theory out at some point as he sat at home behind his computer manufacturing theories. And it was when that happened and a few other things that I decided to really distance myself. Anyway, most recently, he goes on again saying that I'm stealing content from him, that I don't come up with anything of my own, that all I do is steal content, steal. In fact, he was saying that I was stealing his content. Now, this is the third live, and I told you I'm redoing this third one because my mind was kind of elsewhere the other night. And I did reschedule some of them. And I'm sorry, by the way, for anyone that inconvenienced or annoyed or thought that I was being unprofessional or inconsiderate. And I told my moderators this, but I'm going to tell you guys now. So Dave, you were right. I did reschedule some of those, but guess what? I wasn't waiting for your content that I wouldn't steal anyway. And if I was going to steal someone's content, it would definitely be someone else's. But I found out that my mother was diagnosed with cancer and I had to go to appointments with her and, handle things with her. And obviously that became the first priority in my life, and it started consuming my time. And, combined with everything else that, I have a responsibility to. Sometimes, live streams, I don't want it to be this way, but priorities have to change in our daily lives. And sometimes they aren't on the top of the priority list. So yeah, I had to reschedule. So that's why. Hi, Carla. Welcome. Nice to see you. Hi, Joan. How are you? Welcome. And thank you for everything. Joan is another one of our channel's wonderful moderators. Let's see if I missed anyone. So yeah, so that was the one thing he was right about. And so that's why I rescheduled. So I just wanted to let you know. Watch the Truth asks if Red X is still associated with him. And from what I can tell, no, she is not. So, that was good. Hi, Deplorable. How are you? Nice to see you again. I'm glad that you're back. 20-second synopsis. Okay, yeah, I don't want to, and then I'm going to move on from it. So way back when this channel, Seeking the Truth with Dave, not way back when, a few months ago was when I had COVID, was really after me, really attacking me, and really caused a lot of trouble in my life on YouTube, off YouTube. And I don't want to go too much more into it. It was absolutely hateful and terrible. And, so anyway, it gets exposed that he's being a sexual deviant in his interactions, thank you, Nancy, with, some of his subscribers and other people that are coming to his channel. And he is, influenced, I guess, to come off of YouTube for a while. So I thought, okay, good. Well, he's going to finally leave me alone. I've got to take a drink of water, just a sec. So I don't watch this man's channel. He's just not a good person, in my opinion. And I also honestly don't think his content is really of a high quality. I watch, by the way, a few other channels that cover Watts when I can. I'll tell you who they are. There's CDT. I'm really glad she's covering Watts again. These are all linked in the description box if you guys aren't already subscribed. Unjustified is going to start doing Watts Wednesdays again. I really love Unjustified. And Kim, she's a darling. I watch her when I can. And I don't have a lot of time to watch other channels. I watch Armchair Detective. I like him, despite the controversy. That's my opinion. I like Miss Lana on Truth and Transparency. I found her to not be what a lot of people claim her to be, and I appreciate her material. Plunder is amazing, and I know that there's some that I'm missing. So those are the channels I do watch. I do not watch Seeking the Truth with Dave, and I would never have found any of his content to be worth reproducing on my channel. Because as I told you guys, I have a high standard of quality. And thank you, by the way, DCT Prime Time. I really appreciate that. I have a high standard for the quality that I put out and everything in my life, or I try to maintain that. And especially when I'm going to be putting things out for viewers who are kind enough to support my channel to be watching. So that's that. So seriously, Dave, just put it to rest, because at this point you look like a real freaking fool. So I think that you're better off just letting it go. And I assure you, I don't steal your content or anyone else's. So anyway, let's get to the point of what we're going to talk about tonight. This happens to be a topic that a lot of people who are covering the Watts case are talking about right now, because as I said in the very beginning, it was brought back into the spotlight by some people or a group of people who were questioning it. So that's fine. You can question things, but what they were questioning, to be clear, is did Nicole Kessinger, Chris Watts' mistress, actually ping off of Frederick Tower at 6:16 a.m. on August 13th, 2018? And the answer is yes, she did. Yes, she did. And that's really important. That is really significant. What makes it more significant, guys, is when you combine that with all of the other incriminating information that creates a timeline for Chris Watts' former mistress that is extremely suspect, that the CBI agent that was questioning her never questioned her about. And there is nothing in discovery in any of that 1,960 pages that really even nods to this suspect timeline that she creates for herself between the late night hours of Sunday, August 12th, 2018, through the morning and halfway through the day of August 13th, 2018. And that's a Monday. So that's what we're looking at. Now, if other channels are talking about that, in addition to myself and that person I was just referring to, well, obviously they are, because it's been called into question within the last week or two. And those of us who have been covering the case or that are knowledgeable about the case feel passionate about this and want this to be cleared up because it is important. And most of the people that are covering this case still are passionate about justice and justice for the victims. And this is a critical part of it. So with that, I am going to share my screen. Freaking crazy stuff. That man is just cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. Do I do a good cuckoo clock? I think I do. All right. All right. So let me get this here. Okay. All right. She dedicated nose around. So what am I'm interested in this comment by Deplorable. Can you tell me what you're referring to? There is a conversation, their conversation may have indicated something amiss, and she decided just to nose around out of curiosity. What do you think? I'm interested in exactly what you're talking about there. Oh, I got you. The former mistress. And thank you guys for the nice comments too. I'm just seeing them. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your support, and I'm so happy you're here. That the former mistress maybe was just nosing around, just to kind of see where he is. Yeah, I mean, and that is one of the possibilities. And so that's what I want to discuss with you guys. What do you think is more likely? So I'm hoping that the material in this presentation is going to help to clarify that for you. I'm glad you said that, Deplorable, because I actually had that possibility in mind when I was creating this material. Okay, so let's take a look-see here. All right, so I'm just going to go back a little. So, so I'm just going to kind of flip through this. I'm not going to go through it all over again, guys. Don't worry. But when I was referring to the records of the original discovery, the reason I was doing that is the same reason I placed the watermarks here. Well, that's not a watermark. This is a watermark in the middle here. On these pages of the phone bill that was in the first rendition of discovery. Okay. Law enforcement stopped putting this out in the discovery after a while, and you got to ask why. But not a lot of people have this bill. Still. Not a lot of people got it in the first place. It's not in heavy circulation. So a friend of mine who's actually a creator on another channel asked for it, and of course I gave it to her. I will share information with anybody who asks. Actually, I see pieces of my videos on other channels. I'm not saying that people are out there just stealing my content and modeling after me. I don't think that, but hey, if they find it to be usable, guess what? I kind of find that a compliment, and it's fine with me. And here's the thing about YouTube, for those out there that don't know, there's like infinity views to go around. All right. So if somebody's interested on a certain topic, they're going to watch more than one video on that particular topic. So if people are covering the same thing as you, or if even if, you know, like when I've seen a little bit of, and I'm talking a little bit of my videos on other channels, like, so what? Okay, they're covering that too. There's going to be more. It's who cares? I don't know. It's just freaking, none of this really belongs to us anyway. I mean, when you go through and do something creative with your videos and really make them unique, that's different. But when we're talking about just like the information from Discovery, things that were available through public domain, as YouTube says, I mean, come on now. So let me just recap what we've already gone over. So I'm not going to read this again, but DCT prime time, I thought you'd actually particularly like this slide if you get a chance to. Well, I'll send it to you. Okay, so there's a question. The main question is, did Chris Watts, Mistress, or NK ping in Frederick, Colorado on 8/13 at 6:16 a.m.? Now, that's significant because there's only 4 times that she pinged in Frederick, Colorado in total. Now, in the month that we have the phone bill for that was in the original Discovery, there were 238 events on her phone bill. So basically calls, okay? So out of those 238, actually only 3 of them pinged in Frederick, Colorado. I forgot to put that slide in. Maybe I can find it. Okay. So on the morning of August 13th, that's the very same time Chris Watts' beautiful family went missing. In fact, Shanann was last seen on security camera at 1:48 that morning. A ping is important because it's a communication regarding a location of a phone. In the part 1 of this little series, I talked about that at length. You can go watch it if you'd like. And the location of the tower that NK's phone pinged off of, combined with the location of the other towers that have Verizon antennas, because that was her carrier, narrows down the possibilities of where she was. And this is something that nobody else has covered, because this is something that I do have a little extra knowledge of because I used to work in the industry. So here's the bill. Now, what I did on each page of these bills was to look at the longest phone call that NK had with anyone. Because regarding this suspicious 111-minute phone call, you know, some people say, oh, you know, they talked on the phone all the time. They have these long calls all the time. Well, that's not true. Because that phone call starts at 9:28 and ends at 11:19 p.m. on Sunday, August 12th. We've already established that my font got caught off there. But other than the 111-minute phone call, guys, and that's almost 2 hours, right? That's 9 minutes short of 2 hours. The top 3 lengthiest phone calls between NK and Chris Watts on this bill are 51 minutes, 52 minutes, and 54 minutes. That's shy of an hour. That's a lot less than 111 minutes. So it is not true. We cannot assert that a phone call as long as 111 minutes was typical, because it was not typical at all. Let's get another drink of water. And so, okay. So shortly after that phone call, and then I'm going to be getting right back to those things. Oops. This is the last time that Shanann Watts was seen. Okay. She gets out of Nicole Atkinson's car. She goes to the door, and that's it. We never see this beautiful woman again. Okay. So, oops, I better stop there. Also, I'll keep playing sounds. Now, oh, you know what? I have something I need to show you from Discovery. Just 1 second here. Let me just pull up the Discovery because I'm going to have to. 1 second here, guys. Just one second, because it just takes a second to load. I want to have this ready for you when I need it. And yeah. Okay, well, actually, you know what? Since I'm loading this right now and I'm sort of talking about it, why don't we just talk about this? So the 111-minute phone call, guys, does not appear in the discovery file, other than the fact that record of it existed in that very first rendition of discovery that Weld County was putting out, that they stopped putting that out very shortly after the discovery file was released, and they replaced it with the next month's phone record, which is bullshit. It's not useful at all. They don't mention it at all. The 111-minute phone call, just wrap your head around this. The 111-minute phone call, you can just see me scrolling through this as I find the official timeline. The 111-minute phone call that existed between Chris Watts' former mistress and himself. Oops, it's actually not sharing. Oh, what's going on here? Let me stop sharing altogether. I think I overloaded that. So that 111-minute phone call, it exists nowhere in Discovery, nowhere. And when you look at the official Discovery timeline, it is conspicuously missing. So this is really bothersome. So this is a piece of information in addition to the information about the ping that we need to consider when we are thinking about, okay, is justice complete, or is there more justice to be served in this case? So let me just get down to that official timeline. Here we are. And I'm going to slow scroll back up, because if you don't, when you're looking at the discovery, it's a little problematic. Okay, so the 111-minute phone call was on Sunday, August 12th from 9:28 to 11:19 p.m. There's some other suspicious things, but let me just get there. And I will not speak while I am, other than fill or speak like right now. I'm a terrible multitasker. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. Thank you for bearing with me. So there starts August 13th, and I'm going up from the bottom. So let's get to August 12th, just so I can show you it's real and true. Hi, Shanann. We're sorry for what happened to you, girls. Holy cow. I forgot there was so much on August 12th. Okay, so here starts August 12th. So August 12th was a Sunday, the day before the family went missing. So it does say not found in Watts' phone. Shanann sent him a message, and it said, "Good morning, baby. Love you." Now, this is kind of interesting and really very just sad and disgusting. There are people out there that somehow say, NK needs to be further investigated, but Chris Watts is innocent. I don't think that at all. I think the man is exactly where he needs to be. He is far from innocent. And I think that there is substantial proof of that. Whether Weld County did the best job or not, I guess that's debatable, but he's where he needs to be. One of the pieces of evidence that points to the fact that I believe he had a consciousness of guilt, which is a legal indicator of guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, which is the standard in a criminal case. Whereas in, some civil cases, the standard would be what a reasonable person would do. In a criminal case, it's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. But anyhow, is the fact that there were certain things that were not found in his phone. They were missing. They were deleted. And they were all things that had to do with Shanann and his relationship with Shanann, his marriage to Shanann, and his communication with Shanann. So in the few days before this terrible tragedy happened, he was deleting her communications out of his phone, like he was erasing her out of his life, which hurts me to say, but you know, we have to talk about things for what they are, okay? So as you look at August 12th, 2018, you'll see that there are other things that were not found in his phone having to do with Shanann. I'm not going to go through all those now because that's a different topic. But what I want you to see is during the hours of, you know, later in the evening when that 111-minute phone call happened, there's no record of it here, okay? So 2109, so that's 9:09 p.m., right? So at 9:09 p.m., Shanann, all the way from Arizona, with a baby growing in her belly, having been treated so poorly by her husband, is saying to him, poor darling, what kind of vegetables do you want with dinner tomorrow? And Watts just replies, green beans. Not even thank you. Thank you, baby. Oh, I know. Don't let me take care of it. Why don't you rest your feet? You're 15 weeks pregnant and I've treated you like shit. No, he just, you know, the way this is awful. His treatment of her is despicable. Anyhow, you know, then she says she was ready to come home. Shanann soon told Watts that she was ready to come home. And I think it means he replies, I'm ready for bed. So here at 9:13, there's another communication. She's saying she's going to be late. And right here, guys, between 21:13, which is 9:13 p.m., and 21:29, which is 11:29 p.m., which is 10 minutes after he got off the phone with Kessinger. And we're going to look at something tonight that happened in that 10 minutes too. That's interesting. There's nothing here on this official timeline. Between these hours of 21:13 or 9:13 and 11:29, there should be listed the 2-hour phone conversation that occurred between Watts and Kessinger that was unlike any other phone conversation they ever had in the history of their communication, according to the phone records. Okay. So if anyone has any questions, could you please do me a favor and do hashtag so I can see them, because I can't. Hi, Callie. Oh, so wonderful you're here, my love. Callie is a moderator for Truth and Transparency, which is one of the channels I was recommending to you guys that I do like to watch for, you know, things about the Watts case. And she's a darling. Oh, James Ferguson, I'm so glad you're back, my friend. Hi, Rascal Flats. How are you? Oh, yeah, she definitely looked at Shanann's Facebook for 100% sure. Okay, let me get back to the topic at hand because I get off topic very easily. And some people watch these videos and come to these chats for the actual topic. Imagine that. All right. I recognize my flaws. But that doesn't, you know, mean that I can not cover what I say I'm going to. All right. Let me get back here. Oh. You know what? I need to just load this a different way. It's just going to take me a hot second here so I can just click through. Slides. Oh. Actually, no, I can't do that because I don't know if I saved it. All right, that's okay. No big deal. Okay, so going back to the presentation for this evening. Nope. Yes. Yes. Nope. Nope. Yes. Nope. Yes. Obviously, I don't know what I'm wanting to yes or no here. All right. So, okay, that's fine. I can just key through like this. Okay, so that is, you know, so these are the reasons that 111-minute phone call is important. It's way out of pattern, guys. They usually did not talk on the phone that late at night. You know, I've gone through all of the phone records, and this is true. I've made I guess I should come to someday if you guys were interested, could show you the spreadsheets that actually point out this information clearly. And they never had a conversation even close to that length in time. All right. So the unanswered. Oh, here's the other thing. I'm so glad I saw this. So this right here is a screenshot from the officer Conrad or Coonrad, however you say his name, from his camera, his body camera, while he was in neighbor Nate's house. And neighbor Nate is, of course, the guy who had all that security camera footage pointed towards Watts' house. Drink of water. No, absolutely. Yeah, I agree, Kelly. So if you were to look here, let's see if, I hope you guys can see it. I can blow it up too, but some of you may have already seen this. What I've circled here in yellow is a screenshot of his security camera menu that is dated at 11:25 p.m. on Sunday, August 12th. And it shows headlights going by the Watts house. So that is most likely based on what we know about how Nate's security camera works, what triggers it, and when it starts recording. We can safely deduct, I would say. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. I'd be happy to talk about it. Questioning things, you learn more about them. We think we can safely say it's that car going by that set off Nate's security camera. So there's a car going by at 11:25 p.m. So this is 6 minutes after his 111-minute phone call with his former mistress ended. And it is 4 minutes before he finally responds to, oh no, she made an unanswered call. So he doesn't even respond. Okay. Yeah. So all we need to know then is it's just a couple minutes after that phone call ended. Also, didn't include it in this presentation, but it could be included in this presentation. If you guys are interested, I can add it to another live. We can do another live stream. Watts' phone disconnected from the home router during that 111-minute phone call, and then eventually reconnected, which indicates, in my opinion, and I've listened to a number of possible other explanations, and I've done, reasonable research into it myself. I've watched other creators who've done reasonable research into it as well. In my opinion, the reason that his phone disconnected from the home router during the duration of their 111-minute phone call is because he went out of range. He stepped outside and walked outside far enough where his phone disconnected. Oops. Just one moment, please. I have someone at my door. Just 1 second. It's just going to be 1 second, okay? Okay, sorry about that. I knew who it was. They were just dropping something off for my kids. So, alrighty. So there's all that. Okay, so moving on to the ping. So we combine all of that suspicious information surrounding the ping with the ping itself. So on this slide, you see that I'm pointing out to you where Saratoga Trail is in relationship to where the Frederick Tower is. So the Frederick Tower is that her phone pinged off of. This is important. I almost forgot what I talked about the other night and what I didn't. There is only one cell tower during the year of 2018. And this information wasn't taken from anybody else's material because I haven't found anyone else that's been able to produce the 2018 cell map around Frederick, Colorado, because I actually got it from somebody who still works in that industry, who's the site acquisition firm I used to work from. People don't like you to know where cell towers are. The carriers don't like it, and the landowners who have the antennas or the equipment on their property don't necessarily like people to know it. So it's not information that is necessarily always available to the public in its completeness. So right here, this big red arrow is pointing out the tower that her phone pinged off of, which was the only tower in Frederick, Colorado. I will say that again. In 2018 that had Verizon antennas on it. It was the only one, okay? These towers indicated by the green circle or the red circle are the towers from 2018 that had Verizon antennas on them, because AT&T towers that didn't have Verizon antennas, they don't matter. Because back in 2018, the different carriers didn't do a service share the way that they do now. That started in the United States, I believe, in 2020. But back in 2018, they certainly did do co-location, which simply means that Verizon might go in and put their antennas that will service their customers on a tower that AT&T has built. Because at some point, like, we couldn't keep building freaking cell towers because they take up too much space. There's too many laws and ordinances around where you can build a cell tower because, like, they're, God forbid they fall or something like that. So anyway, so all of that is going on. So, okay, I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but this is information that I definitely haven't heard anywhere else, because this is information that I know from working in the industry. So, okay, so Saratoga Trail, the Frederick Tower. Just so you guys get an idea of how close these are to one another. Like I started to say, the Frederick Tower is on a vacant property, or in 2018 it was, next to Pinocchio's Casual Italian Restaurant, okay? So here on the upper left hand, the beginning, we have where Saratoga Trail is, and then it takes this windy, turny route over to where the tower is. So this is a total of 1.6 miles. But when I measured the actual distance between Saratoga Trail and the tower in Google Maps, and also using the scale that's available on that map, I learned that the Watts residents at 2825 Saratoga Trail and that Frederick Tower were 0.89 miles from each other, less than a mile, okay? So now, okay, so here we are. So her phone pinged on this tower. There's no doubt about it. It's 6:16 a.m., Frederick, Colorado, on the morning of 8/13, 2018. The very same moment when Watts' family went missing, okay? So now, how likely is it that ping means that NK was at or really close to the Watts residence? Just trying to think of the best way to have you understand this. I have a couple options for myself in here, just to think about it. Okay. All right. So here we see Saratoga Trail. Here we see the Frederick Tower. Okay. So you see, when we are looking at a map on your screen, whatever you're looking at right now, the Watts residence is to the left of the Frederick Tower that she pinged off of. Okay. It's to the left of it. I'm not going with north, south, east, west, because it's not necessarily in this orientation and it just gets me personally confused. Okay. So now we see, I've pointed with a giant red arrow the tower that her phone pinged off of. Oh, wait, just 1 second. I have to text this person who's going to be coming over to my house to look at bunnies. Tell him 7:15. Oops. See, I'm busy. We're all busy. I hate it when people use like, oh, I'm busy as an excuse for everything. Because guys, we're all busy. You're busy. I'm busy. The whole world's busy. 'Tis the nature. Anyway. Okay. So when we're looking at the screen here, we see the big red arrow points to the tower that she pinged off of. But the Watts residence is to the left just a little bit, because we're really pulled out in this map here. Now you see along this highway, over more to the right of the screen, I have these pictures of Nicole Kessinger from the sand dunes on her sand boogie board, looking all cool. So I put her picture there because this is the route that she be taking to work? So she'd be going from her home, which would be, okay, way down here where this red locator is. And then she'll be going over to the right as we're looking in the screen and up this highway, up highway State Route 85, all the way up to Platteville. So this is her route. It's a pretty straight shot. If she goes this way, she just goes over and up, okay? So let's go back to the one with her pictures on it. So that you're seeing that closer up here, okay? It's just a little portion of that route. Now notice that as she's driving on her route here up Colorado State Highway 85, there are 3 towers that are to the right of that highway that she could have been pinging off of as she drove from her home, up to her work in Platteville via this route. And she is, I don't know if you can see my cursor here, but I'm circling this area right around Fort Lupton. And that's the small little slice that I am picturing on the map here. I'm really trying to break this down for you. So here I have this circled also on this map, but I think that this one is more clear, okay? So now keep in mind that the Watts residence is just a little bit to the left and up of this red arrow tower that she pinged off of. Her route to work typically, and we know this by looking at all of her phone records because she made calls to Watts and to her friend Jim and other people actually while she was driving to work. And we see that her phone pings off of these various towers, okay? So as she's driving to work, guys, this is a little slice where she might possibly be close enough to ping off this tower that existed in 2018 and it had Verizon antennas for Verizon service on it. But there are these 3 other towers that are closer to the highway that also service Verizon that she could have pinged off of, and she pinged off of them previously and several times. Does that make sense? If you want more information about these towers and exactly when she pinged off of them, I would be happy to do a live stream with that information. It would just be too much for today too. Are you guys interested in that, or do you feel satisfied with this level of detail? Yeah. Oh, Colby says, did anyone read text between Shanann and her friends where she was upset about the marriage? It breaks my heart. Me too. I've shed tears more than once reading those texts and many other things. I just, she was really starting to try at the end. She was really, we all, at some point realize when something kind of shocking happens that, oh, maybe there are certain things in our life that we weren't doing our best and we need to improve. You guys have all been there, right? I have. She, in my opinion, was definitely in that place and her heart was in it. Like she wanted to change in every way that was going to make her a better person. I believe that. And that's real heartbreaking. You think that's good? Okay. Yeah, that's right. I agree with you, Rascal Flats. Whoops. What do you think of this, Ara or Ara? You'd like me to do greater detail? So I will, for those of you that are interested, screw it. At this point, we may as well go all the way because my objective when I started this little series, when I heard people questioning this all over again, because I really thought that this ping was one of the issues that we had put to bed. Good night, cover up, here's your binky, see you later. Don't need to talk about it anymore, right? There's enough that we do need to talk about. So when people started questioning it and that questioning started to spread and it was happening on a larger scale and it was kind of catching fire, I wanted to put enough information out there that would, quelch the fire and put it out that wouldn't leave a question in anyone's mind, to the best that I can do, or hopefully that anybody can do. Oh, Ellie, law enforcement. Thank you, Colby. I'm sorry. I try to thank you, and thank you, Ara. Ellie, law enforcement. I try to not use those, like shorthand terms that people that talk about the Watts case all the time have been using, because there's so many words that could be said, but I forget sometimes. I'm sorry. So Teresa Green, how you doing? Welcome. Hi, Colby. Or not hi, Colby. Well, hi again, Colby. I meant to say hi to somebody else and your name was between them. Hi, Crime Curious. How are you? Nice to see you. Let's see what deplorable asks here. Since you were familiar with ping business, okay, what are the chances of an innocent ping? Oh, that's interesting, because I actually was talking with a person who, one of the things that I studied, my degree is in applied behavioral analysis. This is a good friend of mine. She's actually getting her doctoral degree in behavioral science. And there's actually a program that it's like a behavioral kind of statistical analysis program. Oh, that one worked for this. I'm just really excited about that. But I will, deplorable, there is actually an answer to that question. And in all honesty, I've gotten the raw data, but I have not crunched the numbers, because the project of figuring that out was more involved than I imagined it was going to be at first. And I just haven't had the time to do that. But in my next live stream, I'm going to go even more in depth on this. So you guys better be there, because you got to be really nerdy to want to know all this stuff, as we all are. And I'd say nerdy is a good thing. I'll go more in depth on that, the exact location of all of these towers that existed in 2018 that serviced Verizon, which was NK's carrier. And I will also answer that question. What we'll be doing is looking at in site acquisition or in telecom, when you're putting up antennas, there's something called line of sight. Most antennas want to be at an elevation of, the sweet spot is between like 130 and 190 feet off of, not sea level, but whatever the ground level is at whatever spot you're in. Because you want to be high enough where you clear the frequencies of other invisible signal transmissions. And at that elevation, cell phone towers can talk to your phone, and the best, basically. It can give you the best, they can get the best range of service out of it. I'm getting really nerdy now, but I'll explain all of that in the next live stream, okay? What's today, Thursday? I don't know. When I have the material ready, I'll post it. Oh, you're so welcome, Crystal Berry. My pleasure. Thank you guys for being here. I love it. It's great. Oh, hey, April. How are you? So nice to see you. Yes, I know. Oh, well, I know who you are, but yes, cool. Do you ever moderate, honey? Should I add this account as a moderator too? I mean, was the wind blowing towards the tower that day? In all seriousness, I don't know if like you're being serious or funny, deplorable, but like, there are very detailed variables that impact the likelihood of whether or not she was, if it was like an accident or something innocent that connected her to that tower. So let's just look at this picture right here, okay? The one I have on the screen. So you see this highway that she's driving down. So I can tell you this much from the number crunching that I have done. 2 of the 3 towers that are to the right of the highway she's on have a range that is as long reaching and comparable to that of the tower that she did ping off of. I can also tell you that all of the towers that are in this particular picture, they're there because they are all closer to any position she might be at on this highway than the tower that she pinged off at 16 a.m. on Monday, August 13th in Frederick, Colorado. So that's why I didn't choose this little slice of her route arbitrarily. There's a rhyme and reason, and that's what it is. Does that make sense? Oh, so when you're just by looking at that, guys, what do you think? Was she more likely to ping off? Like, say all those other variables don't even matter. Say it was just a matter of range and distance, and to some degree it is. Well, no, I should say that is a variable, right? And it's a big variable. Would it be more likely that she ping off that Frederick, Colorado tower or one of the ones to the right? I mean, the answer is, if your eyeballs are deceiving you, if you're just going by distance, it would be one of the ones to the right, you know? Let's see. I read that the other night. Yeah. So, guys, don't you think it's weird that the 111-minute phone call is not anywhere in Discovery? Does that bother you guys? It bothers me a lot. I was going to talk about this stuff today, but I think I'm going to save that for the next one too, because I do have someone coming over to look at a rabbit. They want to adopt a bunny in just like 10 minutes. Do you guys have any questions? Now, remember, I have a little bit of a delay. So if you do have a question, oh, thank you, Joan. I appreciate that. If you do have a question, if you can like hashtag it or something, that would be awesome. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, April, you weren't here when I talked about this. April says, well, it's on her phone bill, which is Discovery. Excellent point, sweetheart. It's on her phone bill that existed in the first rendition of Discovery. As of about, from what I can tell, 90 days to 2 months after the Discovery was made available, April and everybody, Weld County replaced the phone bill that does show that 111-minute conversation with her phone bill from the following month, which tells us nothing about anything. So not only, I'm glad you said that. See, this is what happens when we question each other. Because now I can make a statement that, in my opinion, is even more incriminating. And it's not that I just figured out how to change my words. No, April showed me something that's true that I wasn't yet putting together. Dun, dun, dun. This is how we learn and communicate well with each other as humans, right? So not only is there no remnants of that 111-minute phone call on Discovery, the indication of that call was actually removed 90 days to 2 months, from what I can tell, after the Discovery was initially released. Dang, right? Yeah. You like my thumbnails? Awesome. Well, thank you. And hi, Sharon. I appreciate that. I'm going to pin that. Thank you, baby. Okay, good. This is a great question. Oops. Crystal Berry says, haven't they? And hi, I haven't. Well, I don't know if have I seen you in chat before. I've seen you comment on my channel before, but I hadn't seen you in a while. So nice to see you, Crystal. Haven't they pulled all her records, even though she deleted them? They should all be accessible. Really great question, Crystal. Now, as far as the official word from law enforcement, they have not told us. Okay, but you know, we do get little bits of information of hers here and there that shows that they had more than they initially revealed to us. But I do also have a friend who is an attorney, who's a criminal defense attorney, and he has a pretty well-known non-for-profit in a poppin' area of the United States. Did speak with one of the lead investigators on this case 3 times in August and September of, this past August and September. And he did report to me that they recovered all or almost all of the communications between Watts and his former mistress. And I certainly believe him, and the person that he was speaking with would certainly know. You're in the right spot, darling. Oh my goodness. Yes, Mama D assures you, so are we. Mama Jane D, thank you for being here. I know that this is during the time that is not easy for you, so I really appreciate it. So, Joan says. Do you remember Cow? Let me read this to you, honey. Do you remember Cow was sleep? Oh, Chris Watts, you meant. Okay. Yeah. So she's reminding us. Yeah. So she says, do you remember that CW was sleepwalking and SW had to wake him up? He was going near the kids in a scary way. SW called Cindy and said WTF. So yeah, so that happened. So apparently when Bella, sweet little Bella, who I just love and adore, like in like this special way, like I just feel such a connection with Bella. I know that her, I know that she's in heaven and everything is perfect for her now, but I just wanted a like mortal day with her, to hug her and kiss her and take her to Disneyland and like, make her chicken and dumplings. I don't know. She's just a special child. So is Cece, but I just feel a special connection to Bella. Anyway, so the story is this, that when Bella was a baby, Shanann walked in. She noticed that her husband wasn't in bed, got up, and she found him, looking over, kind of like lingering over Bella's crib naked. And, I'm just trying to think of what she was quoted exactly saying, that she like flew in there and she was alarmed. And she said, like, don't you fucking touch my baby, or get your fucking hands off my baby. And I'm sorry to say the F word. I try not to say it on this channel, but just as a quote, like, get your fucking hands off my baby. Like the way that she was quoted as saying it was like very emphatic and like she was very fearful. So that's kind of weird, right? But then it's kind of weird. Why was she afraid of him? Like, I'm a single mom and I've actually never been married, but, I can think of, well, I actually, when my son was a little baby, I was in a close relationship with somebody for a few years until he was older than a little baby. And I mean, the naked thing is kind of weird, but I can't imagine seeing even that person who wasn't his father being near his crib and feeling fear ever. If I felt that way, I wouldn't have had him in my house. But it's kind of upsetting that she could even have that fear of her husband. So you have to ask, why is that? I mean, I don't know, those of you that have had children and, the father, you were married to the father, whatever, the father was in the home when you were a baby. Does that seem weird to you? I don't know. I find that strange for so many reasons, but yeah. Oh, Mama Jane D, thank you. Love you. I appreciate it again. I just read that she's multitasking. So April says, the fact that the DA said it's not a witch hunt, and also we can't explain that anomaly, tells us they did nothing about her. Yeah, totally. Right on. That's right, my friends. So, all right, guys. So I told my friend to come over or to look at the bunny for his girlfriend at 7:15. It's 7:13 now. So I am going to end this. Hello, Benji. Welcome. I hadn't said hello to you yet. Thank you for being here. So, guys, thank you so much for being here. You guys are awesome, wonderful, fantastic. If you think of any other questions, can you please just leave them in the comments under the video that'll be available to rewatch. What about Coco Melon? I always think about Bella when watching Coco Melon. That's right. When they mention this song together. Yeah. Yes. Coco Melon actually made three of the, well, in the song where they say hi to each other, they said, and da-da to Bella and da-da to Cece and Nico, actually. And some people thought that was weird, but I believe the show just did that in remembrance of Bella, Cece, and Nico. I thought it was sweet. Maybe there's something weird about it that I'm not aware of, but I don't know. So awesome, guys. All right, everybody, you're wonderful. Care about y'all. Stay safe. I appreciate you all. Thank you for being here. And I hope to see you again soon. It's huge part to the channel is awesome moderators. I'm so thankful for them, but also just all you guys, you're just so awesome in chat. You guys several times always say something that helps me think about things better, and everyone's really respectful. So you guys are just like first class. Thank you for that. I'll see you soon.